All right, beginning of September, we're taking a look at the numbers. The numbers make it look like this slowdown, we're hoping for a little bit of a bump, hoping for a little bit of good news for September 1st to springboard us into a very strong fall season, get us out of this lull. I think we hit a pretty good pothole back in June, and we're gonna be riding on this flat tire for a while. This is Steve Malone Realty Group, EXP, in Atlanta. All right, so we preface all of this by saying the very first thing we want to say is we just got the update. We monitor mortgage rates every day. Mortgage rates. There's a lot of volatility in the mortgage rate world. There's a lot of levers that push on and pull on mortgage rates. Mortgage rates now officially over 6% again for a 30-year fixed on average. Again, you can get some in the fives, you can get some in the mid sixes, but 6.25 is about where they are right now. So that's on par with where they were in June. Everything kind of came to a halt. We've been saying all summer as numbers came back down to the fives and close to four, we thought to ourselves, looking at it, okay, things, as we go into fall, people usually come back into the market after Labor Day. Things are going to improve. Let's get back out there. We can, I think we're going to have more sales. It's not going to be like it was in March and April, but I think that things are going to pick up a little bit. But now that we're looking at some of the numbers that came in from August, now that we're looking at the rates hitting 6.25, saw a report earlier today that showed that there were less people signing up for mortgages last week than the week before that, much less than this time last year. We're just waiting for this engine to turn over, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and I don't know when's going to happen. So here's what we're going to do. Let's do a deep dive. I want to take a look at all the stats, go through it as fast as possible because I don't want to bore anybody, and then let's come back and wrap it all up and tell you what I think it all means going forward. All right, so as promised, it's the first. We always do a deep dive on the numbers on the first. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. I don't want to get bogged down because there's a lot to ingest here. And what's looming over all of this is the fact that we're recording this the afternoon, Thursday, September 1st. Interest rates, 30-year, just hit 6.25 again. First time over 6 officially in a couple months. Hitting 6 in June slowed everything down. It's been slowly falling, been wavering. Now it has bumped back over 6. This is as we look toward September to be hopefully a month where things start to improve. We started to see some indications of some more people coming in the last couple weeks of August, more buyers, more listings, things starting to pick up. Not sure what's going to happen now. The rates are officially over 6 again. Starting to get some indications that not as many mortgages are being picked up. Well, we're hoping for a big fall season. Really what we're banking on. I've been talking about it a lot. We got to get the engine cranked. It's not cranking right now. So let's talk about it. So the 5 things I want to talk about. Number 1, average price. Down again. All right, here's your number, 486-510. This is the greater Atlanta area. These are homes. This is the average price that's sold in the metro Atlanta area. It's going to be different in some areas. This is not an indication that home prices are going down. It's actually, what I can do is I can just pick a certain price range, 600,000 or more. $600,000 houses or more are way down the last couple months, whereas anything that's 199 or less, then 200 to 349 is actually, between those two, it's up a little bit. Actually, that's the first one. Between the first two, it's actually up a little bit. So anything up to 350, home prices actually come up a little bit. And in that price range of 350 to 600, they're down, but they're not as bad. Okay, so what does all of that mean? All that means is home prices, on the average, sliding downwards. It's not panic time yet. It's a kind of the bubble kind of relaxing a little bit. But the bubble is relaxing. They're not going up. They're starting to come back a little bit. But there have been moments over the last couple of years where they've actually come down a little bit. You see these peaks and valleys. But overall, the trend over the last several years, I'm going to look at the last 5 years, you see the overall trend is to slowly go up, big ups during COVID. Okay, so the trend is going to continue up. There might be fluctuations, but real estate's still solid. Okay, that's number 1 we want to talk about. However you want to address it, prices are down. Number 2, homes for sale. Okay, last month we had a big bump up to 12,155. Here, let me slide this down to 1 year. 12,155 coming out of July, coming out of August, 12,134. Basically the same exact number. Now that's much higher than it's been in the past year, but this is indicative of 2 things. Number 1, new listings way, way down in August. from where we were in June and July. Okay. And pending sales. Pending sales are way, way down in August compared to where we were in July and June and May. Okay. So we're on this downward trend. This that's worth looking at is let's look at the 5 year. Pending sales, that we always have this dip in December. We talked about this last time. Dip in December, dip in December. That's when we have people aren't looking at houses in December. That's where the big dip is for the year. Dip in December, dip in December. This dip in August now is on par with how deep those dips are in December, but it's in August. My hope is that we're going to get at least a little bump up before we get that December dip. But if we keep going through December, it's really going to be a very, very, very quiet fall in the world of real estate. If that's the case, we're going to have to see what plays out as far as home prices and things like that. So number 2, homes for sale are flat. The reason they're flat is we have less pending sales and less new listings. Okay, so less new listings, less pendings. And then looking at closed sales are way down. We only had 4,700 sales last month. Now, that may go up a little bit over the next couple of days. This is September 1st. All August stuff isn't quite in the machine yet, but the trend is there. The trend's there all the way through all the other numbers. So you can see the peaks or the big valleys have been in January because you have less pendings in December, less sales in January. So January is always down around 4,000 in 2018. It's down around 3,750 in 2019. It's down around 4,382 in 2020. Then it was a little wonky during the beginning of COVID, and then it shot up. Then January of 21, it was 4,700. January of this year is 4,500. Now we're sitting at 4,700 in August. Okay, we're nowhere near that January. January is always the number, or that's always a spot where it's at its lowest. And we're in August. We're like 5 months away from January. So we need to get a bump up because that bump is going to come in January. Again, like it normally does. If it doesn't bump up, it's just going to keep sliding down. Okay, we need for things to pop back up. Closed sales, okay, so that's a weird number. That's something we're going to have to keep watching too. The month's supply. This is a big number in the world of real estate. I say it every time, say it again. Month supply means if we stop adding houses, we sell everything that's on the market right now at the pace that we're selling everything on the market right now, what we're going to do is we're going to have X amount of months of inventory. It's going to take X amount of months to sell everything. That's what this number is. So the higher it is, the more homes there are and the more of a seller's market, more of a buyer's market it is. The lower the number, the more of a seller's market it is. So let's take a look at the last year. This number was down here on 1 month. We always look at 5 to 7 months as a balanced market. 3 to 5 is a seller's market. Like 2 to 3 is like a very strong seller's market. Down around 1 is bananas. And that's what we had back January, February, March. It was just a bananas market. It's been coming up steadily. Now we're sitting at 2.0. 2 months of inventory. We haven't had 2 months of inventory in Atlanta. You got to go all the way back to August of 2020. Okay, so coming out of the pandemic, that was still a little wonky as far as where the market was. We're still trying to catch our footing. That's how long it's been. It's been 2 years since we've seen this many homes on the market. Now, we didn't add an appreciable number of houses, right? We just showed you how the homes for sale are the same this month basically as it was last month, but that's gone up. The reason it's gone up is because the pace has slowed. Okay, so things aren't quite selling quite as quick. That being said, month supply continues to go up. Still in seller's market territory, but as we all know, the buyers are calling the shots and driving the train right now. It's one of the weirdest markets we've ever seen where there's nothing on the market. It's a strong seller's market at 2.0 months of inventory, and the buyers are calling all the shots, driving the train. They're in total control. It's just completely crazy. All right, so month supply is up. Percentage of list price, okay? This is an interesting number. We are now below 100% for the first time since February of 2021. So it's been a year and a half. We were 99.6 there. It's been above 100% list price to sales price, meaning if you sell it for 300,000, you're going to sell it for over 300,000 on average. Now, again, this is average. Kind of looking at the different price points, it's different, different stories and all different price points. But what this trend is showing you is that we peaked in May. We've been telling everybody this. If your neighbor sold their house for $100,000 over asking price and it was crazy and they had 500 offers, you are not going to get that same deal today that they got back in May. It's just not the market right now. Really, back in April. By May, things started to shift, and then anyway, so it's not that market anymore. We're down below 100%. Okay, so keep that in mind. Home prices, the home prices are going down. List price to sales price ratio is going down. Everything's slowing. But one interesting thing, shows per listing actually up a hair. It went down to 7.7, back up to 8.0. Not a big jump up. But from everything that we're seeing this is a big jump up that we've had in the last couple weeks. Last couple weeks, from the realtors I've talked to, people in my network, we're starting to see a little bit more traction. So this could be, we can't break this down. Unfortunately, I would love to break this down, this data, and we're going to see if we can. I don't think that we can, but we'd love to break this down to, instead of being August, beginning of August, end of August. Like, what was the traffic between the two? But all indications are we're getting more traffic at the end of August. People are starting to pick up the pace. But that being said, all these numbers that we've shown you, combined with the fact that the rates are at 6.25, means that this is going to be, I think that the traffic picks up in fall. We're going to see a little bit of a swing. We're going to see a little bit of a bump. But I'll be honest, I really thought we were going to have a bigger bump. I don't think we're going to have that big of a bump at this point. We're going to have a bump, but it's going to be very small. Starting to see more indications and more talking points showing that that things are going to go quiet, probably until spring. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's talk about what that means. I still think we're going to have an increase. We're going to have a bump coming into fall. We're going to have more showings. We're going to have more homes on the market. We're going to have more pendings. I think we're going to have a bump the next couple of months. I was hoping for a bigger bump. Not like it was in March and April. March and April was crazy. Okay, we're not going to have a repeat of that. I thought we are going to have more of a normal market this fall, especially with the interest rates being where they were. But the last couple of weeks, interest rates have really rocketed up. They're in the low sixes right now, and with all the volatility going on, I don't know if they're going to bounce back down to the fives. I don't know if they're going to go back up to the upper sixes. You know what? There's so many levers driving mortgage rates. Like, all bets are off right now. But that being said, what do I think is going to happen? We're going to have at least a little bit of a bump, and then it's going to be a very harsh dive down. I think once you get past Thanksgiving, real estate market's done, probably until middle of February. It's going to be very, very quiet. So what does that mean if you're looking to buy and sell? If you're looking to buy, let us go out and let's go look at some houses. My goodness, this is the moment that you have been waiting for years. Okay, we said it earlier, it's a seller's market, but the buyers are driving the train. Okay, yes, the interest rates stink. Completely. 100%. When you look at it historically, they're not as bad as they could have been. People were still buying houses back in the 80s with interest rates in the 18%, something like that. But with as little inventory as out there, because there's still little inventory, as little inventory as there is out there, a lot of buyers are freaked out. Grab the house if you can find it. If you find the house of your dreams, grab it. We can refinance down the road. Because three things can happen. Rates continue to go up and you got a good deal this month. Rates stay flat and you went ahead and got the price where it is right now, or the rates will go down. And you can refinance and save money down the road, but you still got the piece of property that you've been looking for. Because at this point in the game, and really for the next 3 to 5 years, finding the property is the hard part. Okay, there's not as many homes on the market. It's still going to be a seller's market. Okay, but this moment in time, the buyers have left. It's time to grab a deal if you're a buyer. If you're a seller, you can still sell your house, but we've got to mind our P's and Q's. We have got to have that house ready to rock and roll, and it has to be priced right. I want everybody to get every dollar that they deserve on their house. Right now, though, when it comes to pricing on houses, you've got to be very aggressive as far as on the downside. If the market price is like 400, 410, something like that, you want to list at something around, if the market price is like 410ish, let's say, Back in March and April, we'd say we could list at 425, we'd sell at 450. Right now, what we're telling our people is we may want to go 400, we may want to go 375. At that price, you're going to get more people in there, drive the price up. Wherever the market price is, you can still get to it. Okay, there's still enough demand. We're still seeing multiple offer situations that the house looks right and is priced right. But as far as is this my time to really push it? Keep in mind how much you've gotten a lot of equity in the last couple of years. We've all gotten a boatload of equity the last couple of years. Now I know what your neighbors sold it for, you know what the people down the street sold for, whatever, and that'd be great. But if you bought your house $300,000, like my house, I bought like in the upper twos, like 5 years ago, right? It's like worth 500 right now. If I sold it back in March or April, I probably could have got like 525, maybe. Right now, I might be able to get might be able to get 475, right? I wish I got 525, but dude, like 5 years ago, it was in the upper twos. So it's okay. We've done well as far as the amount of money we've made on our houses. So it's not like it's a bad deal, okay? If you absolutely have to maximize equity, maybe you do wait until spring, until things kind of thaw a little bit. But if you have to absolutely sell right now, you have the house looking the part, have the house priced right. So that's something that we talk to our people about. Whether you're looking to sell and you need somebody in your corner to help you get the house ready, or you're going to buy and you need somebody in your corner that's going to tell you how can we leverage this market to really get that house of our dreams. We do it all day. We talk about it all day. Give us a call, 470-233-4409. This is Steve. Take care. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video today. If you want more information on what's going on in the real estate market, take a look at some of these videos over here that we've posted, keeping up with what buying, selling, things that are going on in the North Georgia market. But if you want to keep up with everything that we post to our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel down there, bottom right. That way you won't miss out on anything.